First contact, an ultimatum. The sky over Earth cracked open. At first, the appearance of the alien fleet was written off as an atmospheric phenomenon, an aurora, perhaps, or a bizarre satellite malfunction. But within minutes, every screen flickered, every radio went silent, and a new signal took hold. A towering, silver-scaled being appeared in mid-air above every major city, projected in flawless holographic clarity. Its voice thundered across languages, auto-translated in real time. People of Earth, you now fall under the dominion of the Sci-Fi Empire. Surrender unconditionally and be integrated. Resist and be annihilated. Panic surged like a tidal wave. In Times Square, crowds scattered. In Beijing, power grids collapsed under an overload of panic-fueled communications. In Lagos, people took to the streets, praying, screaming, preparing. But underground, deep beneath Cheyenne Mountain, something else was happening. General Monica Ruiz stood over a strategic holo-table, her jaw tight, arms crossed. Around her were a dozen top-ranking officials, military, scientific, and political, watching satellite feeds of the alien ships arrayed in orbit like a necklace of knives. "They're not bluffing," Ruiz said flatly. "Orbital superiority. Tech advantage. Minimal resistance on first contact. They think we'll fold." "They are not wrong," muttered a tech officer. "Most of the world's defenses are scattered. No time to unify." Ruiz tapped the table, bringing up an image of a downed Zyvek drone in the Amazon, shot down by a Brazilian militia with a shoulder-fired missile. "They made one mistake," she said. "They assumed we'd break." Across the world, governments met in emergency sessions. Some debated surrender. Others urged caution. But the public didn't wait. In Berlin, crowds gathered and sang old war songs. In Detroit, auto factories converted overnight to forge crude weapons. In Manila, fishermen attached explosives to boats and set traps in the bays. Within hours, humanity made its answer known. From the very bunker where NORAD once watched the skies for nukes, Earth sent a single broadcast, jamming alien transmissions briefly enough to beam it across the globe. And, crucially, back to the fleet above. "We are the people of Earth. We do not surrender. We fight." Above the planet, the Zyvek fleet commander watched with amusement. "They still believe resistance matters," he sneered. "Primitive. Sentimental." But behind him, a junior analyst quietly flagged a data anomaly. Zyvek scout drones were going dark in urban sectors. One was traced to a garage workshop in Nairobi. Another, hacked in Hanoi, was flying in erratic patterns. The humans weren't cowering. They were adapting. The first blows. The Zyvek Empire began its ground campaign with surgical precision and overwhelming force. Dozens of drop cruisers descended over Earth's cities, deploying sleek black walkers and insectoid assault drones. The Zyvek expected a clean sweep, a demonstration of superiority that would force Earth's final submission. They were wrong. In Sao Paulo, a squad of Zyvek troopers marched confidently into a favela, scanners sweeping for resistance. Instead, a blast ripped through the lead unit as a concealed IED, built from mining explosives and alien drone parts, detonated. Rooftops ignited. From the shadows, a dozen local fighters emerged, striking fast and vanishing before return fire could lock on. In the forests of British Columbia, a Zyvek recon team found itself stalked for hours by human hunters who moved without tech, using centuries-old tracking methods. The aliens' thermal sensors picked up movement, just before a sharpened steel cable dropped from the trees and severed their squad leader's head. The Zyvek expected front lines. They got chaos. At night, human hackers launched digital strikes from hidden servers across the globe. A high schooler in Seoul disrupted a Zyvek comm relay by brute-forcing its protocol with a custom script patched together from stolen firmware. In Nigeria, university students converted a 3D printer lab into a drone factory, churning out quadcopters rigged with thermite. Zyvek forces began reporting strange patterns. Their patrols were being targeted in tight urban corridors. Their motion sensors failed in dense fog zones, or under electromagnetic interference from jury-rig jammers. Worst of all, their AI systems couldn't anticipate human tactics. Too irrational, Too varied, too emotional. In Washington, D.C., General Ruiz watched a grainy feed from a wrecking drone. Human resistance fighters in Chicago were dragging the wreckage of a downed Zyvek walker into an abandoned factory. "They are learning fast," she said, impressed. "Stripping it for parts. Maybe trying to power something." "Like what?" her aide asked. "Whatever they can think of," Ruiz replied. "That's the problem. We don't know. They don't even know. They just keep trying." Back aboard the Zyvek command ship, the fleet commander paced, his claws twitching in frustration. "These humans are uncoordinated, underarmed, and unevolved," he growled. "Why do they not yield?" A lower officer hesitated before speaking. "They are not fighting like soldiers, Supreme Commander. They are fighting like they've already lost everything and have nothing left to protect but each other." The commander's eyes narrowed. The numbers were shifting. Attrition was rising. His war machines were not just being destroyed, they were being repurposed. Earth's resistance wasn't a military force. It was a species-wide survival instinct. And it was working. The turning point. Rain lashed the windows of the underground bunker in Geneva as power flickered. The war above had plunged the world into chaos, but inside the Resistance Command Center, minds worked faster than ever. Dr. Safia Elamine stared at the alien display hovering in front of her. It was a data log ripped from the memory core of a captured Zyvek command drone. The encryption had taken her team 4 sleepless days to crack. What she'd found was a blueprint. "Hey," she said, calling over the others. "The Zyvek fleet uses a central command AI to coordinate planetary operations. They are not decentralized like us. One brain, one bottleneck." General Ruiz leaned in, eyes scanning fast. "If we hit this node, we take down their coordination," Elamine confirmed. "Even for minutes, it could shift the balance." Meanwhile, far above Earth's stratosphere, a salvaged Zyvek dropship, barely held together with human welding and stripped car parts, floated silently toward a communications relay station in orbit. On board were 5 resistance fighters, each chosen not for rank but for sheer audacity. Their leader, Sergeant James Tenner, grinned as the shuttle's patched-up cloaking system flickered to life. "We're about to punch a god in the throat," he said. "Make it count." Back on Earth, coordinated attacks began. In Mumbai, resistance fighters stormed a Zyvek uplink tower. In Stockholm, underground hackers released a virus into the planetary sensor grid, creating thousands of phantom targets. All of it was a smokescreen for the real strike. Above the planet, Tenner's team breached the relay station hull. Laser fire erupted in zero gravity as they moved fast, brutal, and reckless. They weren't soldiers. They were steelworkers, park-hour kids, and ex-cons. But they had something the Zyvek didn't: fury, and nothing left to lose. They reached the core and planted the device, a hybrid virus written by a teenage coder in Argentina and trained on hacked Zyvek code. As it uploaded, the station lights dimmed. For 18 minutes, Zyvek's system stuttered. Fleet movement stalled. Ground units lost contact. Artillery failed to fire. Earth defenders didn't waste a second. In that window, dozens of Zyvek outposts were hit simultaneously. Entire battalions were wiped out by booby-trapped vehicles or surprise rocket attacks. In Johannesburg, a Walker Command unit was hijacked and turned on its own troops. By the time Zyvek's systems rebooted, the damage was done. Tenner's team never made it back. Their final transmission was a simple video: 5 humans standing at the station window, Earth glowing below. Tenner raised a fist, then cut the feed. General Ruiz watched it in silence, jaw clenched. "They gave us 18 minutes, she whispered. "That's all we needed." The Zyvek Empire's grip had fractured. Now, Earth was no longer fighting to survive. It was fighting to win. Earth's fury. The Zyvek fleet was burning. Columns of smoke trailed from the wreckage of orbital cruisers falling through Earth's atmosphere like dying stars. Resistance fighters across the globe watched as alien A superiority crumbled in real time. Humanity had done more than survive. They had turned the tide. In the Nevada desert, the Resistance launched a final gambit. Hidden for months beneath an abandoned solar farm was Project Goliath, a repurposed Zyvek cruiser outfitted with Earth tech and piloted by a crew that had learned to fly it through sheer trial, error, and madness. It rose into the sky like a phoenix, pushing past Earth's thinning atmosphere under jury-rigged thrusters. General Ruiz watched from a nearby ridge, radio tight in hand. "Command to Goliath. Clear to engage." "Copy that," came the voice of Captain Milao, calm as ice. "Let's make history." Above, the last Zyvek command ship held position, damaged but defiant. It unleashed volleys of plasma fire as Goliath surged forward, dancing between bursts with impossible maneuvers. On board, human pilots ignored protocol, overloaded engines, and used moves no Zyvek AI would ever dare attempt. Goliath rammed the alien dreadnought. It split the ship wide open. On Earth, the moment was broadcast live. In Seoul, people flooded the streets cheering. In Nairobi, resistance banners flew from rooftops. In Warsaw, alien statues toppled as celebrations ignited. But Earth wasn't done sending messages. From the Arctic Circle to the sands of the Sahara, hidden launch silos opened. Hundreds of orbital railguns, secretly constructed from cannibalized alien tech and Earth's industrial might, targeted the remnants of the Zyvek fleet. The sky lit up like dawn. What few enemy ships remained fled Earth's orbit, limping, broken, humiliated. In a final act of defiance, General Ruiz authorized a wideband transmission, using Zyvek comms to broadcast to the entire sector. "To the Zyvek Empire. You came for Earth. You found something stronger than your weapons. Our will. Come again, and we won't just survive. We'll follow you home." Silence followed. Then static. Then nothing. The war was over. Months later, the world had changed. Cities rebuilt. Nations united. Scavengers scoured battlefields not for gold or oil, but alien alloys and broken reactors. And in orbit, a new station began construction, Earth's first true starship dock. Captain Milao stood at the edge of Goliath's bridge, eyes fixed on the stars beyond Mars. "We were never meant to be caged to one world," she said. "They tried to break us. All they did was open the door." Behind her, engineers worked, scientists argued, and crews trained. Humanity wasn't just recovering. It was preparing, because the Zyvek would return. And next time, Earth wouldn't just fight back. Earth would lead the charge.